What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday Infinity Ward gave us a few updates regarding the Modern Warfare 2 beta, and one of them is actually kind of huge news because they actually acknowledged something that many people in the community, myself included, have been begging for years now, and this topic is disbanding lobbies. So that's going to be the main topic of today's video, but there was another tweet I just wanted to quickly address at the beginning as well. Just before the Disbanding Lobbies tweet, they mentioned that tomorrow, which is now today, they will be taking live action against cheaters and hackers in beta matches. And that's great news. I wonder why they haven't been doing it yet. Maybe they're just trying to capture data on them or something. I don't think I've run into any cheaters, although it's very possible I've been running into people with wall hacks. There's really no way of knowing the difference because of the footstep audio in the game. But in either case, it looks like today they're going to start combating the cheating situation, and obviously that's good news. Now let's move on to the Disbanding Lobbies tweet. With this, they said, "We've heard a lot of you on disbanding lobbies. We're working on a few tweaks to increase the chances of lobbies staying together and improving the UI when it happens." And while of course this isn't quite the ideal situation in my opinion when it comes to disbanding lobbies, where there's going to be an increased chance of lobbies staying together, at least they talked about it, at least they brought it up and acknowledged it, and I think that's a step in the right direction at least, because up until now, I don't think the game dev studios have really touched on disbanding lobbies since they started doing it in Modern Warfare 2019. And I know many of you guys have heard me ranting about disbanding lobbies in the past, but just as an overview of my thoughts, I feel the moment they started disbanding lobbies in Call of Duty, the entire community aspect of the game started to fall apart. There was no longer that sense of community. On a game-to-game basis, you weren't making new friends and rivalries. You weren't adjusting your gameplay style from one game to another to adjust to the players that are in the same lobby, which I feel took a lot of the depth and the strategy out of the game as well, because now every single game, it's always a new group of players, and once that game's over, you're never going to get that experience again. And the same thing goes with connection quality. Sometimes you get into that match where everything just feels flawless. The connection, the hit detection, everything is great. And after that game, everything disbands, you get into a new lobby, and the connection sucks. You can't just stick with a lobby that's playing really great for you. And one more point, without disbanding lobbies, map voting is able to be implemented, and it makes sense. Now, you can still technically have map voting to some degree with disbanding lobbies. I think we saw it in Cold War, but I found there's often not enough time to vote for a map because you don't have that full, lobby intermission, and it kind of just depends on when you get into it, so map voting was a lot less impactful than what it was when we had persistent lobbies. And with all of this combined, this has definitely had a negative impact on my enjoyment of the game since they started doing this. So I do like the fact that they have finally acknowledged disbanding lobbies, and they said they're working on a few tweaks to increase the chances of lobbies staying together. And obviously this part has me very skeptical. What are the chances going to be? Is it going to be a 50-50 chance? Is it going to be a 1% chance? A 99% chance? What factors are going to play into whether or not the lobbies will be disbanding? And what UI improvements are they making here that let us know when the lobbies are staying together? When it comes to these disbanding lobbies, there's two primary factors that contribute to the fact that these lobbies are disbanding, and the first one is their engagement-optimized matchmaking system. Without disbanding lobbies, they can't constantly reshuffle you based on your recent performance to make sure that you're getting the highs and the lows that they want you to get to try to maximize your player retention. They can't manipulate that experience in the same way. So that is one big reason they've been disbanding lobbies over the past 3 years, but another big reason is the quick play filter, because everyone in the lobby could have a totally different filter for different game modes, and therefore you can't keep the lobby together while also making sure that those people get a really good mix from their quick play filter selection. And when it comes to this one, my suggestion has always been, why not make it to where if you get into a team deathmatch lobby from your quick play filters, then that is a team deathmatch lobby. Everybody else that's in that lobby has also selected team deathmatch in their quick play filter, and therefore once you're in that lobby, it doesn't disband, but it will always be a team deathmatch lobby. If you don't want to play team deathmatch the next game, or you just want to re-roll that dice with your quick play filters, then you have the choice of simply pressing a couple buttons to back out, search again, and there you go. You get the same effect as these automatic disbanding lobbies, without taking the choice away from the other players that don't want the lobbies to disband. Now, unfortunately, and I was honestly a little bit surprised to see this, there's actually a lot of pushback against this from the people that like the quick play options and don't want to have to press like 3 buttons in order to research with the quick play filter. They want that to happen automatically, even if it completely removes the choice from the other players that don't want that forced on them. And to me, it's a little bit frustrating to see that. A little bit of convenience for those players that like that comes at the complete cost of any choice for the people that don't like that. But in either case, I'm probably not going to be changing people's minds on that. So how about when you get back into the lobby after a game ends, you're immediately prompted with an option to stay in the lobby or find a new one. And you have to select one or the other once you get into the lobby. That way, people that want to stay in the lobby, they have that option available to them. The people that don't want to and they want to re-roll, they also have that option available, and they only have to press 1 button this time instead of 3. And taking that to the next level, if you get annoyed by those constant prompts, why not let us have a toggleable setting for ourselves where if we want the lobby to disband every time we end a match and we want to search again, you can toggle on the auto requeue button. Whereas if you don't want that and you'd rather your lobbies stick together, you can toggle that off and it will always try to keep you in the same lobby. I think those are more than fair compromises that would help find a bit of a middle ground between the people that like the constant disbanding versus those that hate it and currently have no option to counteract it. Now, of course, that would only be addressing the quick play side of things. It wouldn't address the whole engagement optimized matchmaking trying to manipulate your experience. So I'm sure that would still have to come into play at some point to force you out of the lobby to recalculate and make sure you're getting the experience that they want you to be getting. But I feel like something like that could perhaps be a compromise for the future. At the end of the day, I don't really know. It's kind of a messy situation. I unfortunately don't think that's the direction Infinity Ward's going to be going here with the increased chances of lobbies staying together. And I guess we're really just going to have to wait and see what they do. When it comes to this, I'm keeping my expectations quite low, and then I'm hoping they're going to blow those expectations away and I'm going to be very happy. But then if they don't, I guess I won't be all that disappointed. Now, one last note I did want to tag on the end here, because this is something I've been kind of frustrated with in this beta specifically, is at the very least, I'm hoping they make the adjustment where if you play a match all the way through to the end of the match and you don't back out of that lobby, I feel you should be guaranteed to get into the beginning of a new match rather than join in progress on your next match. Now, if you are somebody that's frequently leaving lobbies though, then I feel there should be a chance of the next game that you search for being in progress. If you're one of those people that's causing empty slots to pop up mid-game in lobbies by leaving, then it only makes sense that you should be the type of player that fills those spots as well. And as long as that only happens until you finish a game, and then once you do finish a game, then you're back on track and starting matches at the beginning, I think that's totally fair and balanced. They have done that in several years of Call of Duty, although it's been a little bit hit or miss. I just know throughout this beta, that hasn't been happening. I've been playing matches all the way through, start to finish. I don't back out at all, and I'll be immediately thrown into a game that's like halfway over already. And that can obviously cause frustration because oftentimes you get into a match so late that you can't really affect the outcome of the match. You don't really know what's going on. The enemy team has kill streaks up already. With the new perk charging system, now you're going to be at a disadvantage because you only get the time benefit of your perks rather than the score benefit that everyone that's been playing the match has. So at the very least, I hope this is an area that they sort out for launch. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, talking about disbanding lobbies with Modern Warfare 2. And this is where I want to hear from you guys down below. First up, what do you guys think about the fact that Infinity Ward has finally acknowledged disbanding lobbies in this? And second, what kind of changes would you like to see when it comes to disbanding lobbies, especially in relation to the quick play filter? Do you feel like the compromises I offered would be sufficient? Or do you see some flaws with that? Do you not like that system? If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.